Well, welcome again to another episode of Down to Earth but Heavenly Minded. And you're listening to Internet Radio. And I'm your host, Risch. And today we're going to continue on in our study in the book of Daniel. And we're at chapter 10 today.
The Book of Daniel, Chapter 10, by Daniel C. Snaddon. The final 3 chapters of the book contain the last great vision given to the aged prophet, a vision which is without parallel anywhere in the scripture. The 10th chapter is introductory to the vision proper. It contains the account of the deep soul exercise through which the prophet passed and his encounter with supernatural beings. The remaining point of the book can be divided as follows. 1. Chapter 10 is introductory to the prophecy. 2. The next section is divided into 2 major sections. 3. Chapter 11:2-15 deals with the immediate future, from Darius to Antiochus. 4. Chapter 11:36 through chapter 12:4 deals with the far future, the end times just before the second advent of Christ. Daniel's preparation for the vision. Verse 2 He spent 3 weeks in mourning. Verse 3 He ate a meager diet, the bread of affliction. Daniel's fasting was probably caused by his concern for his people in Jerusalem. They had encountered great difficulty. The altar had been built, the foundation of the temple had been laid, but the work had been stopped because of stiff opposition. This was of great concern to Daniel, hence his prayers and fasting. This period prepared Daniel for the great experience to follow. Verse 4 Daniel is on the banks of the river Tigris. While there he received a tremendous revelation. A certain man appeared to him. This certain man was a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus Christ. This is what is known as a Christophany or a theophany. Verses 5 and 6 give a description of the hand in his glory. Verses 7-9 describes the effect of this vision upon Daniel and his companions. Describe the effect of a similar vision on Saul of Tarsus and the Apostle John on Patmos. Transfiguration. Moses at Sinai. What are the lessons in this for us? We see here the progress of the faith life. Daniel started this life of faith in God as a young captive in Babylon. Then Daniel cast himself upon God for the revelation of Neb's dream. Then he talked with angels. Visions were given to him. Then Gabriel was sent swiftly with a message to him. And now after prayer and fasting, Daniel's faith is culminated in an appearance of the Lord himself. Daniel went from glory to glory. Consider a few of the other theophanies: Abraham, Jacob, Gideon, Joshua. Verses 10 and 11 Daniel is strengthened by an angel. This heavenly visitor addressed him as a man greatly beloved. As he stood trembling before this angel, Daniel is given the reason for the delayed answer. Verses 12-14. For 3 weeks Daniel had travailed and agonized in prayer with no answer. Compare his previous prayer. The angel had been dispatched immediately with the answers but was delayed by the king of Persia. He was the powerful, wicked spirit who was a messenger of Satan, controlled by the affairs of the kingdom of Persia. Satan is not omnipotent, omniscient, nor omnipresent. He has his wicked agents everywhere. Paul describes them as the world rulers of this age. Ephesians 6 verse 12. Over each kingdom he puts an evil spirit to control it for him. John reminds us that the world lies in the lap of the wicked one. Rome, Berlin, Moscow, Peking. Verse 13 shows us that Michael was dispatched to deliver the angel who was being held captive. Michael is strong. He and his angels engage in a great conflict in the heavenlies with the devil and his angels. Revelation 12. Michael casts them out. Here are some points to ponder. 1. Satan through his evil agents controls the nations of the world. 2. He is responsible for the bloody wars. 3. He is responsible for the practices and crime today. Furthermore, while our knowledge of the real activities of these wicked spirits is limited, this passage shows us that even believers are subject to attack and harassment by the evil forces. On the other hand, there is conflict in the fact that there are good angels who keep and defend those who are the Lord's. Notice how Daniel is strengthened by angels. Verse 16, one who was like a man touched my lips. Verse 18, one who had the appearance of a man. I was strengthened, and said, Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me. Samuel, speak, Lord, etc. The chapter concludes in a very interesting way. Verses 20 and 21. The angel reveals that he is obligated to return to fight with the prince of Persia, and later with the prince of Greece. The implication here is that there is constant spiritual warfare going on behind the scenes. The stage is now set for the revelation of the consummation of God's purposes in the world. As time permits, show the pain of Satan of blinding and holding men and women in his grasp, leading them on to hell. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4.
The end.